Hey, I guess you want to follow along on one of my workouts. I would love that. But I think there are some basic rules we need to establish and things we should go over first. So let's do that. Your safety is my #1 priority when making these workouts. So please, go see your physician if you have any underlying heart conditions before performing one of these workouts. To monitor your heart rate throughout the workout, if you have an Apple Watch or a wearable, that's preferable. While we're on the note of safety, remember, I can't physically fix your form if I'm not with you in person. So I need you to replicate these movement patterns to the best of your ability with perfect form. You're going to also hear audible cues. So if you have headphones in loud environments, it's going to help you understand what you should and shouldn't be doing. To get the most out of these workouts, simply set your phone or tablet up, follow along with the instructions and try to keep pace, and just work hard. Some workouts might use equipment where it's unsafe to watch the video while trying to perform the exercise at the same time. So for these, I advise watch the video, then rewind, set your phone up off to the side, and then perform the exercise while only listening to the audible cues. Use your own best judgment for this. Oof, that made things awkward. And that's essentially it. Follow these workouts, work as hard as you possibly can, and on a week-to-week basis, make sure you're thinking of increasing one variable like weight or reps or tempo or something. The last thing I want to say is just a thank you. The fact that you're here with me today tells me that you're willing to dedicate energy and time to try to better yourself, and the fact that you're using me as a resource to do so really does mean a lot. So thank you with all my heart, and enjoy your workout. In today's workout, our goal is to strengthen the posterior or the back side of our body. We're going to need a couple pieces of equipment. We're going to need a foam roller, a lacrosse ball, a mini band, a kettlebell or a dumbbell, a set of rings or a TRX, as well as a resistance band. Without further ado, let's get started. Before we get started with the workout today, I want us to do a little bit of soft tissue work. The first thing we're going to need is a lacrosse ball as well as a foam roller. We want to start by taking the lacrosse ball and putting it right on the corner of one of our glutes. From here, we're going to push all of our weight onto this side. Opposite foot is locked out. And I'm going to set a timer for 45 seconds. And we're going to do this on each side. The microphone gets muffled here, so I'm going to do a voiceover. We want to start by placing all of our weight onto the corner of our glute and making sure that we then abduct our leg down to the ground. The goal here is to find tissue that's extremely tender and tight and sensitive. So as we're exploring for that tissue, we can make small circles. Again, we can lift our leg up and down toward the ground, or we can just sit in one spot the entire time. The goal here is to help improve blood flow, increase fluid dynamics, and it's just going to help us activate this tissue a little bit better and be more effective during our workout. If you're someone that doesn't have as much tissue there, by that I mean you're someone who's skinnier, you might want to relieve some of your weight by having your hands on a yoga block or doing something where you can take some pressure off and not make this so extreme. To be effective, make sure you're taking deep breaths, trying to relax on the ball, and let's get back to the audio. And if we don't fire our glutes correctly in a lot of movement patterns, it increases our risk of injury to our lower back. So just a precautionary thing, and this is just a good slow way for us to start our workout. We also want to think of trying to keep ourselves as upright as we can to put more of our weight over the ball. If you need to disperse your weight further behind you or put your hands on yoga blocks, go right ahead. But again, I'm just trying to relax my body on top of this ball, which is tough because this is not comfortable. Knee down to the ground, knee all the way up. Again, just search for tissue that's tender. If you're someone that's a little bit skinnier and you don't have as much tissue on your glute, this could be more painful. Maybe then you need to use a larger object like a foam roller. Don't try to get so specified and deep with the lacrosse ball. I don't want you to hurt yourself doing things that are trying to be preventative. Okay, good. So we did 45 seconds per side. Next, we're going to set another 45 second timer. That'd be a long time to foam roll. My goodness, your glutes would be jello by the end of it. We're going to set a 45-second timer, and we're going to put our lat on the foam roller and one hand on our head. From here, my elbow goes back behind my head, and I'm just going to foam roll up and down my lat. Again, this is tissue that doesn't get much love frequently, so this might be extremely painful. If you find a spot that is really painful and you can't take any more tension or pressure, just kind of rock yourself up and down. You don't need to roll up and down. I got my top leg crossed over my bottom leg, and I'm kind of using this leg as leverage as well as my bottom foot. Again, just look for those tender spots. This is the tissue we're going to be activating today for our workout. We're going to be doing a lot of pulling exercises to strengthen our back, help our posture. So this is a really good one. I'm excited for you guys to do this with me. Let's switch sides. Okay. Face you again here. One hand over my head. Opposite foot crossed. And deep breaths rolling up and down. Roll down to the ground. Oof. All the way back up. And oof, that's the spot right there. Again, chest to the ground. All the way up. And again, elbow real far back behind my ear. Trying to get my shoulder into as much flexion as I can overhead. Again, preparing us for some of these movement patterns we're going to do today. And good. All right. So next, we're going to stick to some of the stuff we're going to do with our foam roller, except now we're not going to work so much on loosening up tissue. We're just going to kind of work on some spinal positions and get some movement into our upper and lower back. The first thing we want to do is take the foam roller. We're going to do some thoracic extensions. I'm going to set another timer. I want to go in posterior pelvic tilt. Hands go on my head. I take a deep breath out, and I try to relax my head all the way down to the ground. Another breath out. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm making sure I maintain that posterior pelvic tilt. I don't just arch my lower back. I'm trying to only work on thoracic extension. I really want to keep good form on my lumbar, keeping it neutral, and then just trying to relax the tissue of my upper back by taking deep breaths. Work on one more spot. Again, roll up and down and look for spots that are challenging. We want this to be on the upper portion of our back. One more breath. Again, no arching your back and trying to touch your head by just cheating and going into extension. The second thing we're going to work on, we're going to get ourselves into a side position with one leg on top of the foam roller, about 90-degree bend, opposite arm straight out. We're going to rotate and do a thoracic rotation, trying to pin our shoulder to the ground. If you've done my other workouts, you know this is one of my favorites. Most people, we sit all day at a desk and we get really tight, we get really kyphotic, rounded forward. We don't practice rotational ability much from our thoracic spine. This is a great way to get some important movement in our body. Oh, it feels so good before we try to work out. Again, all of this is safety, it's precautionary. We want to get some movement. Start slow. Make sure that knee doesn't come up off of the foam roller. Hold it down with the opposite hand if you want. Deep breath out, a couple cracks. Do 2 more of these. You might notice that you have less range of motion on one side. If you play rotational sports, this will be really helpful for you to producing more power, lowering your risk of injury because now you're rotating from the correct spot of your spine. So that's it for our myofascial release and soft tissue work. Now let's move on to some movement prep. All right, next for our movement prep, the only things we're going to need are a mini band and ourself. So the first thing I want us to start with is we're going to do some flexion and extension of our hips and our shoulders. So I want you to think about reaching up to the ceiling with your feet straight, trying to arch your back slightly, squeezing your butt and belly, and then taking a deep breath out, slight bend to the knees, and our arms come up as high as we can behind our back. We're trying to round our lower back, stretch out the tissue of our erectors. Again, reach up. We're going to do 10 repetitions. Deep breath out, I round over. Reach up. Again, the breathing is really important. Let me give you a better view from the side. Reach up, hinge, breathe out. We're going to be doing a lot of things today where we're hip hinging. I know right now the goal is not to keep a neutral spine, but I just want you to try to lengthen and stretch some tissue in your lower back. Soft knees. Again, if we've been sitting all day, this is going to feel really good. 3 more. Nine, last one coming up here. Really reach those arms overhead and then back behind you as far as you can. Ooh, 10. Okay, next, we're going to come down to the ground. We're going to take a mini band and we're going to place it around right below our knees, okay? We're then going to be on our side in a kneeling side plank position. Now, you can regress this. If it's too challenging to press through your shoulder, keep your hips off of the ground. Only my bottom knee and my forearm have contact with the ground. If this is too challenging, just relax on your side, okay? But the goal is for us to do 15 reps per side with our mini band of a clamshell. I open up my hips as much as I can, and then I come all the way down slow. 15 total. So as you can see, I'm pressed up in a kneeling side plank. You can do this from the floor too. It's a great way to activate your glutes, get yourself into abduction, and prep us for using our glutes because that's one of the main muscle groups in today's workout we're going to be using. 5 more. Again, really pushing through my shoulder, making sure I'm retracting my shoulder blades, pinching them behind me. Nice and stable position to be in for my shoulder. I'm not just relaxed on it. Okay, let's switch sides. Legs bent at 90, hips up in the air. Open that top hip. Again, we're doing this quick. I want you guys to get right to your workout. I know everyone's busy these days. We don't have much time, but I appreciate you for dedicating this time. And I'm going to make sure you get a good workout in and we're being safe. And we burn a lot of calories and we work a lot of tissue out in an efficient way. So this is just a quick warm-up to make sure we're being safe to get ready to activate that tissue in our workout. And that's it. Speaking of our workout, I'm going to see you a second, and then we'll get started. Circuit number 1, 3 exercises. All you're going to need here is a kettlebell or a dumbbell, as well as a set of rings. We're going to start by doing a kettlebell deadlift. So we're going to get our weight. We're going to stand directly over it. We're then going to hip hinge, pushing our butt back, maintaining a neutral spine. We're going to brace our belly tight. I bear down. I push my shoulder blades down. And we're going to do 12 repetitions. Here we go. Butt down, chest up. Stand tall, squeeze my butt. I initiate with butt back. I have perfectly straight spine. The last thing we want is people rounding in flexion, risking hurting their lower back. Okay, this exercise is to strengthen your lower body, your posterior, your hamstrings, your glutes, to work on building core strength in a functional way. We do not want to get hurt trying to do things that are precautionary to reduce our risk of injury in the real world. Butt back, as you can see, my butt's not real low like a squat. It's higher up, closer to the level of my hips. Stand, squeeze my butt. Trying to think of driving my feet into the floor and pulling my hips forward. 12 total. Now, if you don't have a kettlebell and you only have a dumbbell, we'll be setting the dumbbell down just like so. Hands on the side. Same exact concept. Now, if both of these are too challenging and you don't have the range of motion necessary to do this with good form, all we're going to do is set the weight onto 2 yoga blocks and then perform them the same exact way. Squeeze butt and belly, butt back. Okay, 12. All right, next, we're going to come over to our rings. We're going to do some ring rows. We're going to walk our feet out. The further we walk our feet forward, the more challenging we're going to make it. The more upright we are, the easier it is. I'm going to pull my hands all the way to my chest, pinch my shoulder blades back behind me, and slowly let myself lock out. Again, tight belly, tight butt. I'm straight as an arrow. Come all the way down. Slowly let my shoulder blades protract. Pinch. Slow on the way down. We're doing 12 of these here as well. 4. Good tempo. Really focusing again, pinching those shoulder blades. The last thing I want is internal rotation. Retract those shoulder blades. This is going to help us build some strength of our back, build some muscle, help our posture. Again, if you need to make it harder, you can walk your feet forward. 3 more. None of this loose positioning at the bottom. Use your core. Spine is nice and straight. Last one. Whew. Good, 12. Okay, third, final exercise of the circuit. We are going to do a McGill Sit-Up. Okay, McGill Sit-Up. There's a gentleman named Dr. Stuart McGill. He's one of the most renowned physical therapists in the world. He developed this exercise or this protocol. We're going to lay on the ground with our legs bent at 90 degrees. The first step, posterior pelvic tilt, meaning I think of pushing my lower back down against the ground. I cannot fit my hand anymore. From here, we're gonna set a 45-second timer. All I'm gonna do is pull my chest up off of the ground, keep my neck neutral, and then just hold this position. I'm just, again, neutral neck. I'm trying to not round too much. Neutral neck, but I'm picking my shoulders up off the ground. My hands can go behind my head, and I just hold this posterior tilt position, almost like the top of a crunch. Come on, Apple Watch. There we go. We might get a few extra seconds here. Deep breaths. Again, I'm trying to do all the work here with my core. I'm not trying to cheat with my neck. So I think of pushing my neck down into my hands here. I'm shaking. If you're doing this right and you're pushing your lower back down against the ground, you'll feel this in your core. Super simple way of doing anti-extension. He uses this exercise for folks who want to rehab from a back injury to just start strengthening your core. It's a basic exercise in that way. 3, 2, and good. Woo, okay. And there's our circuit, guys. We had our deadlift, we had our row, we have our McGill Sit-Up. Take a small rest here, and I'm going to see you in a second.
Haven't we made it, my love? Oh, honey, look how we made it this far. Hasn't the pace been alarming, honey? But take a look at where we are. Haven't we made it, my love? Oh, honey, look how we made it this far. Hasn't the pace been alarming, honey?
Circuit number 2, we're going to need another kettlebell, maybe slightly lighter, maybe same load, just elevated to make this a little easier. I think this is a challenging position for most people. We're going to need a set of rings as well as a resistance band. The first thing we're going to start with is the Sumo Deadlift. For a Sumo Deadlift, we're still going to have the load under our center of gravity, except now our feet are much wider and they're turned out to 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. From here, I think about opening my hips up as much as I possibly can, reaching the weight. My shoulder blades are back and down, and my torso is much more vertical. I stand tall, I squeeze my butt and belly, and then I set the load back down the same way. We're going to do 12 repetitions of this, okay? If you need to elevate the kettlebell and do elevated sumo deadlifts to have an easier time in the bottom position because it's uncomfortable and you're tight, start with that. So let's go ahead and give this a shot. 12 reps, shoulder blades down and back, deep breath of air in. Stand tall, squeeze butt and belly, open up the hips, stop on the ground, stand tall again. We want to make sure we're opening those hips and our knees are not collapsing in. We're bracing our belly with a deep breath of air. Show you a couple from the side. See how vertical my torso angle is relative to a deadlift that looks more like this. This is a way to take our lower back out of lifting a little because we have such a vertical torso angle, as well as a way to get our glutes more involved. But again, this is a tough position. If your adductor is the inside of your groin is tight, it's going to be hard for you to open your knees up this much. Last one. Beautiful. Okay, set that down. Next, we're going to come over to our rings, and we're going to do some pronated ring rows. For that, instead of pulling our hands up at a neutral level, we're going to pull with our palms face down. We're going to be doing 12 repetitions of these as well. You may need to be slightly more upright than you were for the other row because this is slightly more isolating on your back. Heart rate's high. Big pinch. Slow. Again, 12 reps here. Last two. It's a great way to work our back. Again, help work on posture. We get really pulled forward and kyphotic because the muscle of our shoulders and our chest get too tight and we have weak backs. Next, we're going to have a band, a resistance band set up about chest height. We can attach it to a door. Let's make sure it's somewhere sturdy and it's not going to come off and hit us. What we want, take our hands, press our hands out in front of us. This is anti-rotation. Now we want to do some chops. So I'm going to go to about 10 o'clock, explode to 2 o'clock, slow the band down. We're going to be doing 12 of these as well. Slow, good time under tension. Legs are locked out. I'm thinking of doing all the work with my core. I'm not doing this with my arms. I'm thinking of turning my belly button, my torso, and my head at the same time. Last one. Okay, I'll grab this band, do it from a different angle for you. All right, same thing. 12 reps. Absorb, explode. Again, this is a great way to work on strengthening your core for anyone that plays a rotational sport, tennis, golf. 6, absorb the weight on the way back, explode. Arms are locked out in front of us. We're not bending our elbows. We don't have one shoulder blade shrugged up. Everything is symmetrical. Last 2. Sweating. All right, and there you have it. There's another circuit done. Take a second, grab some water, have a small rest. I'll see you for another one. All right, third, final circuit. You've made it this far. We're almost there. 3 more exercises. The equipment we need here is a kettlebell as well as a band set up at chest height again, okay? The first movement pattern we're going to do here is going to be a march, a carry march. So we're going to work on core strength and spinal stability. We're going to pick a load up like a good deadlift on one side of us, stand tall, and then from here, I'm going to set a timer for 45 seconds for us to do a march. All we're going to do, pick one foot with our shoulder blade back, opposite foot comes all the way up to our chest, barely taps the ground, and we're just holding perfect posture the entire time. Now the load is pulling us to one direction, so our core has to work in keeping us stable and keeping us in this good position. Deep breaths, show you some from the side here. Again, my shoulder blade is not forward, shoulder blade is down and back, foot up nice and high, belly and butt tight. Carries are one of the best ways you can work on spinal stability. You're also going to be carrying things for the rest of your life, so you need to be good at it, whether it's groceries, whether you're on vacation and it's luggage. So it's a very applicable exercise. Oof, okay, we'll set that down with good form. We're going to go again. Let's reset that timer, 45 seconds. Stand with good posture, shoulder blades down and back. Good balance. Again, we get to work on ankle stability on that one side. Make sure that we're not arching our lower back, leaning backwards. We're keeping a neutral spine. Again, I'm squeezing my right butt cheek with the foot on the floor. I'm squeezing my belly. You can walk around and do this exercise. For the filming's sake, I wanted to stay stationary for you all. But yeah, feel more than free to walk around your apartment, keeping your shoulder blade back, perfect posture, not leaning to one side. Again, practice like you're carrying the heaviest groceries that you've ever had. Almost there. And 45. Good. Okay, next, we're going to grab that band at chest height. So I'm going to grab this guy, and I'm going to walk back. We're going to be doing 12 repetitions of a single arm split stance row. So as you can see, my back foot on my toes. My front foot is almost at 90 degrees from my knee angle bend. From here, I keep a neutral spine. I pull my arm all the way back. I pinch that shoulder blade. I slowly let that arm return. We're going to do 12 reps per side. Now, if this is too easy, I just walk further back, right? The further away I get with this band, the more challenging it's going to be. Smooth. Explode, pull, slow on the way back. If you want to make this more challenging, add some rotation into it. Now there's a little more stability. My glute gets involved on the leg that's out in front. When I rotate away, go through some thoracic rotation. But most importantly, we want to make sure we retract our shoulder blade and we're not internally rotated. Retract that shoulder blade. Then we can work our back out. If not, you're just going to work your bicep. Last one. Good. Let me switch sides. Okay. Big long stance. Pull, pinch that shoulder blade, stretch all the way back out. Again, it's so important that you retract your shoulder blade and that you're not doing all the work here with your bicep. Elbow stays close to my side, right? I'm not pulling it up high. Kind of like that first neutral row. Almost there. 9, 10. Make sure this is attached to something stable, guys. If it's not, it's going to hit you. And I'm not liable. You guys got to set this up correct. Be safe. Third one, bird dogs. Okay, I want you in a tabletop position. We're going to be doing 12 repetitions per side. From this tabletop position, I'm going to think of extending my opposite leg and my arm all the way out. Again, maintaining neutral spine. I don't want to go into extension. Maintain neutral spine. I touch my hand and my knee in the center, and then I elongate again. Again, I'm working on spinal stability while I'm going through some movement of my upper and lower body. So I have to control my pelvis with my core to not have any excess movement. I mentioned Stuart McGill before, the physical therapist. This exercise and his McGill Sit-Up are 2 of his 3 favorite, as well as the kneeling side plank. For, again, rehabbing from any injuries, from anyone that has lower back issues, or just for general core strength. Last one. Extend, toe pointed to the ground. Hands come into the middle. Good, let's switch sides. Okay, left arm out, foot to the floor, extend, meet in the middle. Brace that belly the entire time. I don't want any of this. Smooth. And keep good balance. Almost there. Deep breath, staying calm. You want to make this harder? Try picking up your toe off the ground so only your knee is touching the floor. You want to make this easier? Just try to hold the final position. Whoop. Put that foot down. Whatever you need to do to make this challenging for 12 reps. And good. Woo, and there you have it, guys. Last circuit. We're going to do that a couple more times. And I'll see you at the finish line. Congratulations on finishing your posterior dominant workout today. Your glutes, your hamstrings, your back, everything got stronger. You learned how to hip hinge correctly. You'll be picking up things with good form for the rest of your life. Thank you again for choosing me as someone to come to for fitness advice. I look forward to seeing you at the next workout. Make sure to hydrate, eat good food, get good rest, and consistency is going to be most important for your progress. So thank you again for being here, and I'll see you soon.